Hello everyone, my name is Aish and I am the founder of Simple Hints, and today I am actually making a very quick video on 5 things that I had to unlearn before anything really changed in my life. So as of this video I am 22, well that would be a lie, 21. I turned 22 later this year, and I started reading self-help books at the age of 18. It started to change my life vigorously over the years to the birth of Simple Hints, which is today, where I sell digital guides you rewritten, which is designed to change your life in many retrospects. But I'm not really here about to talk about that side of things. I'm here to talk about the things that I did, the 5 things that I had to unlearn that helped me to the point where I actually started to notice any change. You can see I have a lot of books, so maybe I know a thing or two, so bear with me. First thing that I had to unlearn is that motivation is what gets things done. So when I first started in the age of 18, the first book that I read, Inner Game of Tennis, I bought it because I saw it from a documentary of an athlete who actually read the book, which helped him become a better athlete. And the reason why I was motivated to buy it was because I am also somewhat of an athlete. I play football time to time, and I was in that period actually getting ready for a tournament, and I really wanted to be in my best shape and form possible. So seeing that actually motivated me to buy the book. And the funny thing is I never read a book in my whole life, so that was enough of a motivation for me to buy the book. So I got the book, and then I realized that I actually had to read it, and I had to read what was in the book, and I actually had to do the action items in the book, which also required more effort and energy and a lot of more repetition and iteration and experimentation, which obviously was difficult because I relied on the motivation. But I had to unlearn that, and I had to start actually reading the words in the book, which took a lot of discipline. And because I had really low attention span because of the things that I used to consume, like TikTok and Instagram and all sorts of BS that I don't even really know, it was really difficult for me to read. So that was the first thing that I had to really push myself through. I had to actually read. And the second thing was the action items. I actually had to do the action items. I remember one thing in specific. It was trying to just learn about the ball, trying to focus on a central focus point. So I grabbed a volleyball, I think, in my room, and I just started to juggle, and instead of focusing on the outcome, I just focused on the present singular focus point, which was just the ball. And I started to get a glimpse of, okay, I think the thing that I learned from the book is actually happening. So after reading the book, which I actually did manage to do so, there was a thrill in learning that motivation was actually not the thing that I had to rely on. It's obviously sort of a booster, but it's not the thing that I really have to rely on, because motivation can only bring you so far. But it is what something like discipline, which helps you get out of the comfort zone of doing things that are out of normal for you in your routine, is where real change comes. And the second one is that feedback is criticism. So I am a perfectionist. I like to do things in a really perfectly manner, and I hate knowing that I could be wrong. And that was something that was really difficult for me to accept, that I could be wrong. And when people would tell me that I am doing something wrong, I would be triggered, I would be angry, and it was definitely just something that I was not really ready to accept. But I realized and learned that feedback is crucial if you want to learn, and not only learn, but actually achieve anything in life. So feedback is really, really important, because it not only shows you the reality that you are actually not who you are in your head, it shows you what you need to improve on. For example, this thinking really shifted the way I thought of things and the way I viewed things. For example, when I was playing football, when my coach would yell at me like, Aish, you're dribbling the ball too much, you're not passing it at the right time. Like, I would get so mad, I would be pissed, like, what do you know? But then when I realized how important that feedback is, I realized that I myself couldn't have realized that I was doing it, because for feedback you need to see things objectively. And he was seeing it objectively. And he was the observer away from the field and not in the game, and he was the one who witnessed that I am dribbling too much, and I couldn't realize that myself because I was too much into the chaos. He was out of the chaos, and he realized it, that I was dribbling too much and I was not passing at the right time and I was making wrong moves. So he would shout, and that is feedback. And in a way, you also have to be really thankful for the feedback, because if you hate feedback and if people are not giving you feedback, that is a sure way to lose. That is a sure way to decline into whatever you're doing. So that's the second thing that I had to unlearn, knowing that feedback is extremely important to not only know where you are in life and how you could go there and how you're doing things wrong, so that you can correct them through the course so that you can move forward. And the third one is that a goal needs to be perfect before you start. So when I first started really getting into reading, I got very attracted to business. I wanted to start my own business and I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to have the perfect goal. I was really ambitious, and I was really I was very unrealistic, that given my skill sets and the given situation and the environment and everything. So I thought that I really had to be perfect when I was going towards the goals. For example, that if I had to start a business, I thought, okay, I need to set up my business. I need to probably have a logo, and I probably need to have an Instagram page, and I need to I need to spend a lot of money on ads and all these unnecessary things that I am putting my energy on first, which are not actually the most important things. While the most important thing is the product itself and serving the customers, because in terms of the transactions between the two values of providing value to customer and the customer seeing that value and spending money on it, which is actually the core of the business. Without those two, the business don't exist. But I was so focused on trying to make the perfect goal, meaning aka the perfect business, by focusing on absolutely the wrong things at first, which ultimately I did. But then there were no customers and there were no products, so the business wasn't really a business. It was just an illusion. It was just an idea that never really went forward. Huge mistake and a huge lesson, and something that I had to unlearn that a goal has to be perfect before you start. it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to focus on the right things. And sometimes when you're starting out, that is not the case as well. But then that's where feedback comes. And then you learn, iterate, and become better. And the fourth one. This is actually, I could say, a continuation to the second one, which is that discipline is punishment. So people think that discipline means you're being too extreme. You're being too extreme and you're going way out of line, you're being too obsessive, and you're being too much, basically, because discipline means you're really focused on the goal and you're cutting out the noise and you're sacrificing a lot. And for a lot of people that could be really difficult because you are in the short term, you are letting go of a lot of the things that you used to love. For example, for me, when I first started being more disciplined, I had to give up on a lot of things. I gave up on social media. I deleted social media, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, and Telegram as well. And that's a lot of things going cold turkey at once. And my friends were like, "Ooh, whoa, are you okay? Like, is everything?" To the point where my friends thought I was even depressed to a little bit, which is funny. But they don't really realize why I was doing it. I was doing it for the pursuit of my goals, which was to be a better entrepreneur, build amazing products, and build an amazing business. That is my long-term goal. And that required a lot of focus and a lot of discipline. But people think it the wrong way. People think that discipline is punishment, which, while actually doing the discipline thing, I realized that it was the complete opposite thing, that discipline isn't punishment. Because sure, in the pursuit of the goal, the sacrificing can be very difficult because you are so deeply rooted. Sorry, I accidentally pressed the lock screen button. Anyways, it can be very difficult because you are so deeply rooted into whatever it is of the habits and the routines that you have been living all your life, and all of a sudden you're going on a 180 and you're doing things that you never do, and your body is going to be in havoc for a while. But that is something called going out of your comfort zone. And if you're doing anything great, and if you at least want to be more than average and above average, and if you actually want to achieve something great, it's going to come out. No, it's not going to be coming out from the things that you do today and doing now. Because doing things that you already do today is only going to get you more of what you already are. And if you're like me, probably that's not what you want in life. You probably want more, you want to achieve more, and you want to be known great for something. And that's going to require a lot of sacrifice, and you just have to unlearn that discipline is punishment, because it's not, and it's actually just giving you a lesson of what it means to be great. And on the flip side, in the end, after going through that discipline thing, you're going to learn a lot of things. One, if you really even want to pursue that goal, even if you or if you want to be really great at something, because that's just what it requires. It requires more energy and focus, and that requires discipline. And if you don't want to be disciplined, that means you don't really want that goal. So you can just go back to living your old ways and your old life that is always easier to go back to. But just know that there is a cost and consequences to everything. And the fifth and the last one is that routine means you're not living. So a lot of the people, they love spontaneity. They wake up and they don't really know what they want to do. Then they just, whatever happens throughout the day, they just go at it like a flow of air, or like water. Wherever the wind takes you, you go. And sure, in the short term, it could be very fun. Like even I have to agree that spontaneity can be very fun at times. Like spontaneous trips with your friends, spontaneous hangouts with your loved ones, and spontaneous anything can be really exciting because you weren't really planning for it. It just happened very last minute, and last minute things oftentimes are quite fun. But in pursuit of your goal, and if you want to change, that can be quite a havoc because you are in too much chaos. Now, you need to play between chaos and order in a predictable manner, meaning if you really want to be great, you need to do the same things really, really repetitively. That's what makes you really, really good at something, by doing the same things every day. If you want to be a really strong in the gym, if you want to build a lot of muscle, you just need to go to the gym every single day. But you can go to the gym even every single day, but if you're doing different workouts, it's not going to be as effective as just doing the same workouts repeatedly and just building up over time. I'm pretty damn sure, because it's not, oftentimes it's the greatest rewards come not from doing different things. It comes from doing the same but less important things, which actually moves the needle. And those are the things that brings you the best results. Now, when you are first starting out, of course, you're going to be going through the chaos of finding out what really works for you. But once you really find that edge, you need to optimize it to the nth degree. You need to really just put all your energy onto it in doing the same. And it could be even boring. For example, sleeping at 9 p.m. at night and waking up at 5 a.m. every day is not really fun. But 9 to 5 of sleep gets me 8 hours of sleep, and it is very ideal for me because usually at time when I'm waking up is the time for Fajr, so I wake up and I could pray easily as well, and I could start the day with a fresh mind. And 5 a.m. is quite nice for me because well, I live in a city and it's pretty damn quiet at 5 a.m. So there's a sense of peace and I can think quite nicely at that time. So it helps me in that way as well. But that's a routine that I try to follow, but it's not something that is really fun, but something that I do which has profoundly helped me. It's not something that is very complex, something very simple, which of course helps me in what I do. And so that is the fifth and the last thing that I had to unlearn, which is that routine means you're not living. So we're gonna go through the 5 things again before we close down the shorten the video, which is one, that motivation is what gets things done. That is not true. It's just a booster. You need to focus more on discipline. Feedback is criticism. Without feedback, you're not really going to move forward. You're not going to know what you are doing wrong. So feedback is quite important. 3, that a goal needs to be perfect before you start. You don't even need a goal. You just need to start, learn, repeat. And 4th, that discipline is punishment. Discipline shows you how much you are stuck in the comfort zone, helps you bring out of it. And brings you and changes you deeply in a lot of ways. So discipline isn't punishment, it's actually doing you a favor. And 5, that routine means you're not living. Do the same things every day, or live in chaos and not really go anywhere. So that is 5 things that I had to unlearn before anything in my life changed. And if you like this video, you can click the like button, and you can share some things if you have any that you had to unlearn before any change occurred for you. And I am trying to make more videos like this, so if you have any recommendations in videos that you want to see from me, you can comment down below that as well. Or I'll just experiment more with more videos, and we will see how the feedback from there comes. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I will be seeing you on the next one. Thanks.